I'll cue you in, man.
Okay. Dude, I missed my cue. Alright, so going into 2015, one of the first movies I saw was Whiplash. And now Whiplash is starring JK Simmons as this antagonistic, sadistic music director at this prestigious conservatory music school in New York. And Miles Teller plays this up-and-coming drummer who is really looking for greatness. He knows he has something special inside of him. He's just trying to release that. And now the director, Damien Chazelle, had a hard time finding someone who would pick up this script, because who wants to watch a movie about a guy drumming, like a jazz drummer, which is a very unpopular topic, but this movie has become very popular. Why do you think that is?
Whiplash is one of those indie films that kind of breaks out of the little niche it was originally placed in, where it was just kind of an independent film that no one is flying under the radar, and then everyone was like, you gotta go see this movie because J.K. Simmons. I think really the Oscar buzz around J.K. Simmons, like everyone says he's a shoo-in to win Best Supporting Actor, and I won't disagree with them, but I think that really propelled this movie into like a little bit of stardom. It's not widely known by a lot of people. It's known as like general moviegoers, like it's the drumming movie, and it's like a sports movie about drumming, and it's very ostracizing to a lot of moviegoers, just regular moviegoers. But you and me, we heard a lot about this. We heard, all the Oscar buzz and stuff like that. And so this movie actually came out last year.
Yeah.
But we finally sat down and we're like, okay, we gotta look up a theater. We drove 45 minutes to go see this movie, and it was well worth the drive. It was a great movie. And it had such great performances by not only J.K. Simmons, but it also had a great performance by Miles Teller. He kind of broke out of the whole party boy, getting drunk all the time role, which, he's good in the role. If you guys seen The Spectacular Now, he's great in that movie. But he finally breaks out and he kind of becomes a star in and of himself. But man, this is a J.K. Simmons movie through and through. He really shines in this film. And so Miles Teller, he's like you said, he's the drummer, and he's trying to be the best that he can be, and he wants to be a professional drummer, but he's in this very prestigious school. And J.K. Simmons, we first meet him, the opening shot of this movie is Miles Teller drumming, and J.K. Simmons is like, stop, did I tell you to start again? Just being super dick to Miles Teller. So you actually get introduced to both these characters relatively early in the movie, and I think their whole power play between the characters, their whole it's almost like a power struggle, like who wants to be better, and they keep like biting at each other and they keep picking on each other, and that whole dynamic is what really helps propel.
Yeah, what's interesting is JK's motivations, when you discover them, sound like he is actually trying to help Miles Teller, but it's just coming off as Miles Teller's enemy. And that's really what JK wants, though. He wants to be the enemy to push you, and he says he wants to push you further than you expect yourself to go, because would we get the Beatles, would we get, famous rock bands or famous musicians or famous anything if someone in their life didn't say, that wasn't that good, you need to do better? Instead of what I think JK's perception on what is going on in the music industry is that everybody's like, good job, you made an album, that's
get trophies for third place.
And so, but he is of the mindset that you're never done getting better, and you kind of almost sympathize with JK towards the end with that. But the rest of the time, you're enjoying JK just screaming and getting in the grill of these people's faces, and the things he says are so comical, but it's not whimsical. It's very serious, and you're drawn to JK's character. And one of the great things going on, just to JK rant about how good he is that he shows so many ranges of emotion. He shows his anger, he shows his just normal, just regular, and he shows sadness. And it really, I wouldn't say it even tests JK, because it seems like he just went in there and did this and just grand slammed it out of the park.
He just walked in with the microphone, just like, I'm an actor, guys, drops the mic and says, I deserve it. Like, he was so good in this movie. And Miles Teller, like I said, you could, like, a lot of people aren't giving Miles Teller credit. He did great in the movie. That was what really made that movie, was the back and forth between them. And like, you wanting to know, like, you hating J.K. Simmons, like, absolutely just hating his character, but then, you know, you see the sympathetic side to him, but then he goes back to the whole you hate him again, and it's awesome because JK shows his entire range of emotions. He gets really up, like you said, up in their face, and gets really angry, and just shows this like interesting side of an actor that we haven't really seen on screen before. And you know, just a very interesting, I guess you can call it a sports movie, very interesting sports movie, but like we were debating earlier, it breaks away from the tropes. It kind of transcends the tropes. It has a couple of them in there, but it still breaks away enough to make it interesting. And the ending, which we're not going to spoil for you, but the ending, to me, I walked out of the theater and I told Josh, I said, this was a good movie. This was a damn good movie. But to me, the ending is what made it a great movie.
I think it's almost similar to Foxcatcher's ending, but the fact is Whiplash's segment. I think Whiplash is a superior movie to Foxcatcher.
Oh, definitely. I'll debate that.
They're almost similar in the fact that if you saw Whiplash, you know that the story is kind of just building up and kind of bland throughout, but the ending really captivates you, and I think that this movie did that. And the reason I think it's better than Foxcatcher is because what came before the ending was actually really good, like really good, but the ending transcends the rest of the movie, and so we get just, you walk out of the theater feeling the emotion and the amazing climactic scene that is this movie. And I think one of the things that this movie doesn't get enough credit for is the cinematography. The cinematographer did a great job because he made it interesting to watch someone drunk. And I love the scene in the very end. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but the camera goes from JK back to Miles, JK back to Miles, just over and over and over again. And you're this close to the action, and it really translates well onto that big screen.
It's an intense movie, and honestly, you know, my whole thoughts on the movie are, like I said, very intense, very emotionally charged movie. Very, you know, just it's like when I first saw 12 Angry Men, that was really intense to me, and this movie was really intense. It got up close and personal in your face, and I just loved it. I would recommend, go to the theater right now, see it. You and me were talking. You said top 10 of 2014, right? We said we wish we could go back and on our list and put this in like the 5 or below spot. That's how good this movie was. Now, you know, we're not going to do that because technically we saw it in 2015, but this movie was just that phenomenal that it made us like go past the 10 through 5 spot and just say number 5, number 3, whatever it is, it's in there.
I mean, I could really see if you walked up and told me that Whiplash was your favorite movie of the year, I would be fine with that. Like, that's an acceptable opinion to have because this movie earned everything it's garnered, like all the praise it's garnered. So I would definitely recommend watching it.
Hi guys, what did you like about our Whiplash review? Did you like the movie? Do you think JK definitely deserves the best supporting actor? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.